Yep. 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 Yeah. I don't know. What is that? Yep. Yeah. Indeed. Good afternoon and welcome to the Tequila Hour. It is Saturday. It is the 9th of March, 2024. My name's Amanda. I am your host, as always, here in Australia, New South Wales. Secret location. The end. No, it's not the end. It's just the beginning of this podcast today. And what am I going to talk about today? You may or may not have figured it out by the title. And I don't even right now have the title. I have an idea what I want to talk about. So let's talk about it, shall we? First of all, I don't know what that was. No. Not that. No. I don't know. Now I'm just madly pressing buttons and nothing's happening and I don't. On my road, Procaster 2. Yeah, you know it. You know the drill. Anywho, I want to do a little bit of a recap. Of the week, that was. I want to talk about the drink and how I'm going with my drinking. And then I want to get into the subject of the day. And first of all, let's do a quick recap of my week. Where do I start now? Sounds dramatic. It's not really that dramatic. It's been an interesting week. If I was to say to you, I have been more conscious of being in my head and ruminating and overthinking, you would be correct. And I think it's because, one, I have a presentation that I'm going to be part of next week, and I think that it's making me quite nervous and it's on my mind. And that's relating to work, by the way. If you haven't figured that out, I don't know how you would, but and so that's come up quite quickly, and yeah, I think that's where a lot of my anxiousness is coming from this week. Am I particularly anxious? No, not really. I'm just feeling a bit of a way, is the only way to describe it. I had some interesting conversations at work. I actually spoke my truth to someone in particular and then felt like shit. And that's probably what I need to explore more, why I felt like shit after actually speaking my mind and being honest, more than the conversation itself. So I might go over that at another time. I probably will go over that next Tuesday. And why I talk about that is I'm actually going to have a special during the week podcast in Sydney, and I don't live in Sydney. I'm just giving away. I haven't given away where I live, but I'm just saying that next Tuesday I will be in Sydney because my presentation is at my workplace in Sydney, and that's not my normal location. Anywho, I'm getting in the weeds. But in a nutshell, I'm staying overnight in Sydney, which I thoroughly enjoy, and I'm actually staying in a particular place. And yeah, I'm going to do a podcast from there because I thought, fuck it, why not? And I feel inspired. So yes, I'll fill you in more about my day and some of the conversations I've had in this prior week. Let's move quickly into, because I really don't want to talk about it, to be honest. And I can talk about a podcast that I was watching and listening to from Mel Robbins today, which kind of, I don't know, eased my mind a little bit. Well, no, actually a lot. Why am I being dramatic? It eased my mind quite a lot. And it was about the choices we make or something to that effect. I'll look it up and I'll actually add a link in the description of this podcast for anyone who's interested. You might have worked out that I'm not going to lie, I love Mel Robbins. I was going to say I like her a lot. Actually, no, I'm feeling her. I love her. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've never watched a podcast where I haven't got a nugget or multiple nuggets or, lifelong novels of inspiration from her. So, yeah, I will link it if you're interested. But, yeah, I was watching that today and that kind of eased my mind a little bit. And I want to then lead quickly into the drink of the day, which now I'm going to have a quick drink break. And I will tell you that I'm still not drinking alcohol. I know. I know. That could be why I'm feeling a certain way as well. And I am really doing my actual very best, to be honest, because there has been times in this last, and it's only been 3 weeks, and it sounds very dramatic. It's only been fucking 3 weeks. And this highlights the fact that, I need to explore this, which I'm doing live now on TV. I was going to say, but it's a podcast, so there's that. I'm very interested to have an understanding of I don't know, why I feel like I need something. We all have a vice, let's be honest. And if you don't, fucking congratulations. I'll give you that. Congratulations. I wouldn't say alcohol was my vice, but I would say to you that now that I'm mindfully not drinking at all, and I will talk about what I am drinking today in a second after I explain myself, that look, alcohol obviously for me is a tool to switch off. For most people it is. Obviously most people who drink like having a drink, and this is the other thing, I'm not even a big drinker, to be honest. But when I say to you, if I've had a shitty week and I just need to zone out and fucking forget, a fucking conversation I've had with someone, I would say to you that my first go-to would be, great, it's the weekend and I'm having a drink. The fact that I'm not doing that at the moment and just sitting in my shit or thoughts has been quite interesting, at times a little bit challenging, and actually has made me a little bit depressed. Not depression, because they are very different by and by, just feeling a little bit sad. So, and I'm not that sad, I just feel a little bit sad, a little bit maybe lost, feeling a little bit lost, a little bit unsure how, I'm managing these feelings, etc., when I'm not using something to control my emotions. I'm just using my mind and my intelligence. So that's been interesting. And let me quickly get to the drink of the day. So last week in my podcast, I mentioned that, I've been really aware that it's not like just stopping. It's really strange. And for me, I'm doing things that are helping me because I really want to stop drinking for a period of time. And like I said, I feel like I'm struggling a bit with that. So I this week purchased a cider, so non-alcoholic cider from Woolworths. If you're in Australia, is Woolworths overseas? I don't fucking know. I don't know, is it? But in Australia, we have Woolworths. So if we talk about major supermarkets, you've got Woolworths and Coles. So if you ever use my hyperlinks, that's what, our main shopping for food, etc., groceries, whatever you want to call it. And today I was at Woolies. I don't know why I'm explaining. That's short for Woolworths. And so it is called, the brand is, I think it's Zephyr or Zephyr. I'm going with Zephyr, as in Zeffer cider company. The flavour I'm having right now is passion fruit cider, 0% alcohol, 79 calories, vegan friendly and gluten free, 0 alcohol. Bam. And I picked them up because, yeah, I'm doing my fucking darndest, even though there has been multiple times, even this week, when I've gone, you know what, I'd love a fucking drink. And even, you know, to the extent of next week, like when I said I'd be in Sydney and I'm staying down in Sydney and I'll be doing a podcast in Sydney, where I said, oh, look, I'm already thinking ahead. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll be down there and doing this and, you know, I'll have a drink. And I'm like, but you don't want to have a drink. It's a conundrum. So, yeah, I'm trying it out. The other flavour I've got is just standard apple cider, but this is passion fruit cider. It just tastes a tiny little bit sweeter. The apple one is not bad as well. It's pretty good actually, and it's 39 calories. So if you're counting your calories and, you know, that's important to you, then, yeah, you might just want to, you know, smash an apple instead of a passion fruit. But, yeah, that's what I'm drinking throughout the podcast this afternoon. And, yeah, let's talk about, finally, let's get there. Let's talk about road. No, let's not talk about road. Let's talk about manifestation. You're like, road, stop it. Yep, crickets. Because, look, and this is the thing too, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this briefly. I don't know how much in depth I've talked about manifestation. I suppose for myself, where I am someone who clearly, if you listen to this podcast, I'm on a little bit of a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment and understanding. May that be my emotions, may that be my physical well-being, my health, etc. There's a lot going on. Apart from all the shit, there's a lot in my mind. And, yeah, when I say to you, manifestation is something that comes up quite often. I think I've mentioned that I watch a lot of YouTube, and some of the channels I watch are tarot reading related. And, of course, they talk about manifestation on those channels, and obviously in line with particular times in the lunar cycle. And also, if I was to say that I do listen to a lot of, you know, not a lot, but I do and have listened to, I'll spit it out, a lot of podcasts that do talk about, you know, in reference to personal development, but manifestation and meditation. They all kind of, you know, I don't know, align themselves in regards to the subject of personal journeys and enlightenment, in my opinion. So I wanted to talk about manifestation and really put it out there. Maybe you might want to manifest being on my podcast. I don't know why I'm laughing, because that's a really good manifestation. If I was to say to you, do you believe in manifestation? Do you know what that is? Have you ever done it before? Has any of your manifestations become reality? Is your life now on a path because of a manifestation that you manifested? Let's talk about it, because I think it's an interesting subject, and it is something that comes up quite a lot for myself because, like I said, I am, you know, I read a lot of books around self-development, or I watch a YouTube channel video and then, you know, it's some guru and they've written a book, and then I read their book, and then there's a lot of manifestation. It all, like I said, all intertwined, and I want to talk about it today. So my question is, where did the idea of manifestation come from? So look, I went to Krusty. I went to my trusted friend, always. If you hear me, Google, we're friends, right? You didn't know, but we are now. Google it. I Googled it, and this is what I asked. I asked the question, where did the idea of manifestation come from? The answer. So the top result, originating from New Thought philosophy, manifestation asserts that positive or negative thoughts attract corresponding experiences or circumstances in one's life. While manifestation is popularized as a method to achieve goals, it lacks empirical evidence to support its claims as a scientific phenomenon. Of course it does. And then where did the concept of manifestation or manifestating come from? Manifestation, the idea of bringing something you want into existence through aspirational thoughts or practices, is nothing new. It has roots in the 19th century New Thought spiritual movement, which included the belief that our thoughts can influence the material world, and essentially that positive thinking is the answer. So let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's just have a quick drink break. Drink break. Oh, the cider's good. I'm not going to lie. It's all right. Yeah, a little bit more enjoyable than the gin, which was not gin. Anyway, moving on. If you know, you know, all right. The title is Law of Attraction, History and Overview, written by Peter Paxton, published in Mind Alter, and it's from a site called medium.com. Okay, so introduction. The law of attraction is a philosophy that defines the effects of thoughts. The positive thoughts and negative thoughts impact our lives in various ways. It is a pseudoscience that defines the negative or positive thoughts affect a person's course of action. According to this philosophy, the law of attraction either brings good experiences or bad experiences in a person's life. So the law of attraction is a belief that a person's inner thoughts affect overall life in multiple ways. In accordance with the law of attraction, positive thoughts always bring good results. On the other hand, negative thoughts bring negative outcomes for people. In order to maintain a balance in life, a person should prefer positivity over negativity. No shit, Sherlock. Otherwise, his thoughts and predilection would affect life and its source in astonishing ways. And what is the history of law of attraction, you might ask? Many people regard the law of attraction or the notion of its manifestation as a new phenomenon. The Secret is the book that prevailed the common notions in connection with the law of attraction. This is why people assume that the LOA, so now they're shorting it. The law of attraction is a recent invention. That, however, is not the case. The law of attraction has a long history. It appeared first in a book 1.5 centuries ago. Before we unfold the information regarding the law of attraction, we should let you know how it evolved, I should say. It existed long before we came to know about The Secret, which is basically a novel if you've never heard of it, The Secret. Following, we have prepared a timeline that defines the evolution of the law of attraction from its historical perspective. So first, the law of attraction, 1877. The phrase law of attraction first appeared in print in 1877 in a book. The book was penned down by Russian mystic Helena Blavatsky. Hopefully I said that right, Blavatsky. She wrote the book in the context of an attracting power existing between components of spirit. Though she did not present the facts the way we know them today, yet she laid down the foundational theory upon the law of attraction. Prentice Mulford, now that's a cool name, was the first to articulate the law as a universal concept. So in 1907, William Walker Atkinson publishes a book. Helena did not comprehensively introduce the law of attraction. It was another author who wrote about it in 1907. He explained it in a manner that we know today. William Walker Atkinson, big name, is the person who introduced the law of attraction in modern times. He published his book in the year 1907. His book was well received by the audience. He published Thinking, Vibration, or the Law of Attraction in the Thought World. This was a book that introduced us to new ways of thinking. It was a fascinating book that evoked positive thoughts among all. He had the audacity to use the phrase vibration in, inverted commas. It was not a common word. Not many people thought in this perspective or perspective. His work provided an extensive introduction to the principles of thinking, energy, vibration, as well as manifestation. He was also the first to describe the value and power of love in manifesting wishes, the wishes and the whims that you could fetch your dreams for you in the real. Thus, William Walker Atkinson told us about the law of attraction way back, again, in 1987. Why do they keep repeating? I love it. The year is 1910, the beginnings of a new idea. With time, many writers became interested in the idea of the law of attraction. The literature on the theory grew in size and many philosophers could research the subject. In 1910, another Wright, Wallace Deloise, it could be Deloise. Wallace Deloise had talked about the idea of law of attraction in great length. Wallace Deloise Wattles, really, published his classic book, The Science in Getting Rich, in 1910. Did he? Wallace D. Wattles, now they shorten it, emphasised the creative function of thinking in the manifestation process. He explained the universal role of energy as the material from which all things are formed. Now we move forward to the year, which is 1928. An idea is spreading. It would be interesting for you to know that a book was published in 1928, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, a book by Napoleon Hill, was released at that time that frequently utilised the term law of attraction. Napoleon Hill's most renowned work, Think and Grow Rich, was originally published in 1937. It went on to become one of the best-selling books in the world. If we then go forward to 1986, concept is accepted by the masses. Another logical and insightful book surfaced during 1986. Jerry and Esther Hicks' work is one of the most important sources of inspiring and educational information on the subject of law of attraction. Then, with The Secret, in commas, in 2006, the law of attraction became a phenomenon. Even though Esther and Jerry Hicks' work was extremely successful, there remained considerable doubt. It was especially difficult to penetrate the commercial market. The main reason for its failure to reach every home became the writer talked about. Because, what? Sorry, the way this is written is very poor, actually. The main reason for its failure to reach every home became the writer talked about the spirits. Because the writer should have been, not became. So basically it talks about The Secret was, 2006. Then there was a movie. Then the messages conveyed by The Secret are plain and easy to understand. 1, things are created by thoughts. Believe in yourself. Oh, God. Believe in yourself and you will succeed. Apparently, I can't. And 3, positive emotional attitudes are beneficial and required for manifesting goals. I am going to stop there because it's just going on. It does then talk about manifestation. Is manifestating a word? I don't know. Is it? I think it is. And it talks about, apart from, what does it talk about? Oh, it gives examples of what you can do. Law of attraction in love and relationships. Using the law of attraction to attract money and wealth, to improve mental and physical health, to attract success and abundance, attract success stories, keys to success, affirmations, visualizations, and action. Obviously, to help you attract a goal in your life would be affirmations, visualization, action. So I have to stop there because he's just waffling on. I'm truly waffling on. And then what I did is I wanted to mention a YouTuber that I watch regularly. His name is, the channel is called The Tarot Ship with Jimmy, okay? And he's an Aquarius and he's pretty cool dude. And I watch all his videos, the ones that pertain to the sign Aquarius. And he often will put out videos that relate to, lunar cycles and the fact, I don't know if you knew this, but we are about to have a full moon tomorrow, which is the 10th of March. Now, I'm not in any way, shape or form, up with lunar cycles and astrological movements of the stars and the moon and all the rest of it. But, I am aware of these things. I'm not completely in the dark. And I am aware that, full moons often bring certain things, and they often will say, if you want to manifest something in particular, you should do it during the course of the full moon, depending on where the full moon is. So tomorrow the full moon will be in Pisces, and I've never done this. I have used manifestation. I have manifested. I've tried to. I have, and I think I've talked about this in the past, where I have used meditation not only to calm my mind, but also I've listened to meditation, I was going to say sequences, but yeah, the Breathe app that I use has different, storylines. They're not even storylines, but different audio you can listen to, if you want to go to sleep or you just want to, listen to rain sound or you want to meditate, etc. One of the ones that I regularly do listen to is about manifesting your goals. And I do, depending on what's happening in my life, I do listen to them and think, and a part of that, it has affirmations that you hear and that you say in your mind as well, concentrating on something that you want to bring to life, to achieve. And I have done this numerous times. I would say to you that certain things have happened and then may those things have been a positive experience or maybe not so positive. May I say that if you want something hard enough, you'll probably make it happen. Is that manifesting, or are you actually manifesting through affirmation and visualization, etc., or meditation, or all of the above, to actually create this consciousness from your subconscious to the conscious mind? And then are we as powerful to then say, or am I saying that, you could use the power of the moon to then assist with doing a particular manifestation ritual that could assist with bringing your want or your manifestation, that's such a hard word to say, manifestation, into life. So I actually want to talk about this because tomorrow is a full moon, and it's not one of those full moons. If you know anything about this kind of subject, and like I said, I'm not an expert, all right? So don't get don't get carried away. But I am aware that, there's obviously cycles for things, and sometimes the moon and using manifestation during a certain cycle of the moon, it can be more positive than other moon cycles. I know that. Have I purposely done that before? I think there was one time I've done that, being mindful that I was just listening to audio and using manifestation techniques like visualization and affirmations at a particular time in the cycle of the moon. What I'm going to talk about today is an actual sacred full moon manifestation ritual. Now, I've actually never done this. I'm actually reading from the site, which is called sacredtaste.com. I haven't looked at the site in total, but it does basically lay out a description of a sacred full moon manifestation ritual. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to talk about it. So it basically says the various lunar phases influence our emotions and well-being in different ways. Like I said, I'll talk about it at the end. A full moon is the most powerful phase as her total illuminated appearance creates energetic magic. It is the perfect time to construct your dream life. The sacred full moon manifestation ritual will assist you in turning your dreams into a reality. So how to have a sacred full moon manifestation ritual. Number 1, sacred space. Using your sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, so your 5 senses, create a space that feels sacred and peaceful for you. So in reference to sight, cleanse the area using Palo Santo. I don't know what that is. Palo Santo or sage. I know what that is. And set up an altar using objects that hold meaning to you. For this ritual, we suggest using white candles as they represent passion, protection, power, and manifestation. Sound. Raise your vibrations by playing some medicine music in the background. We have Sacred Sounds playlist called Sacred Medicine. Smell. Cleanse your mind by burning your incense of choice. Patchouli, which is beautiful, by the way, now I'm getting distracted by patchouli because I'm thinking of patchouli. Patchouli is perfect for creating and multiplying prosperity and love. Interesting. Taste. Prepare your sacred cacao to assist with opening your heart and allowing the abundance to flow through your body. So could you just eat chocolate? We might explore that. Touch. Use a journal or vision board. Allow your dreams to come to life. So number 2, I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink because I'm parched. Drink break. Oh, yeah, it's good. Number 2, set the tone. Now with your cacao raised to your heart, set the tone for your ritual with the following prayer. I am ready, willing, and able to live the life of my dreams. I co-create with the universe. I graciously receive. I am love. And then it's basically the person who's written this is Meg Sylvester. Number 3, see it. Closing your eyes, take deep breaths and call in what you would like to manifest. Imagine what it is like to have it. What are you doing? Where are you? How do you feel? Allow the images to flow into your mind without judgment. Number 4 is say it. Write down an I am affirmation based on your vision. This statement will allow you to remain positive and focused on what you are manifesting. Affirmations are positive expressions that assist in raising your vibrations and help with quick and powerful manifestation. Number 5, simple statement and plan. Balancing out the feminine approach of being receptive and trusting, it is important to have the masculine traits of taking action. It doesn't need to be lengthy. The shorter and more precise, the better. Write down what you want to manifest, why you want to manifest it, and by when. Once you have done that, visualize and write down your steps to get there. So number 6 is send off. Using one of your candles and your paper to release your manifestation to the universe, read what you have written aloud over the flame of the candle. You can repeat it until you're ready to fold the paper and place it under the candle. Doing this, you are drawing your intention from the paper and releasing it through the flame. And finally, number 7, say thanks. To give thanks to the universe, you can finish the ritual with this prayer. Dear universe, thank you for guiding me on my journey. I am supported and everything is happening at the right time for the right reason. Thank you for showing me the way. And then right down the bottom, it just has a statement. When you think, you become. When you feel, you attract. When you imagine, you create. And that was said by Buddha. So let's talk about it. So first of all, I'm just going to have a quick look at the site. The site's sacred. And yeah, it looks like they are basically a site that sells premium drinking cacao. Interesting. And yeah, they have all these different types and they look interesting. So yeah, I should save that because that looks really cool. They have different types. And then they have like ceremonial ones and I'm going to save that because that's so cool. Let's do this and then save that and do that. Right, save this site. Let's talk about the ritual. Let's talk about manifestation. Okay, so I'll give the example where, like I mentioned, I've used a particular app, which is the Breathe app. That's my phone in the background. You might have heard some sounds. And it is an app that I use when I'm feeling particularly anxious. And for me, when I'm, at a higher level of anxiousness feeling in my life, if I'm more stressed and if I'm more anxious or there's something happening and I'm feeling more anxious, I will use this app at night. That's what you'll hear in the background. And basically, it's an app I use where if I just want to meditate or I need to listen to like a sound or anything like that, I will use it. I highly recommend, I'll just close it down because it's really loud. I highly recommend the app. It's called Breathe, as in BREETHE. I think I've mentioned it before. On the app, it does have different things that you can use to, for example, there's one person I listen to a lot. His name is Glenn Harold. He's one of the people who, his voice and he's a clinical hypnotherapist and he's written a lot of self-help books, etc. And then he has a lot of content on this actual app, including ones that talk about transformation and miracles and believing in yourself and creating calm and, the law of attraction, raising your vibration, increasing motivation, etc. This is how I've been exposed to what I would say to you is manifestation. I would normally do it not when I'm just anxious. When I'm anxious, I don't, I have tried to manifest. I had tried to manifest certain things when I've been anxious, but it's more about I would recommend you do manifestation rituals or thought processes when you are in a state of calmness, not when you're hypersensitive. That's probably one recommendation. Number 2, I've normally done it when, I've been undisturbed. May that be, I go to bed earlier and then I just put my headphones in and my Apple AirPods and, so I'm not hearing any other noise except what's playing, and I listen to Glenn talk about, cosmic ordering and manifestation. And So you're listening to a recording where he explains and there's music in the background. Sometimes it might be certain binaural sounds as well that are supposed to heighten your level of, I don't know, clarity in reference to psychic ordering. I think that's a terminology that he uses. And yeah, I have done this. I actually really enjoy listening to him a lot. He does have ones where he's actually very calming, but there's also ones where not that I'm searching, but I am someone who believes that if you believe that you can, you can. And even if it's really hard, you can. I also am aware when I'm just saying that out loud that if I was to say I'm going to manifest being a doctor, I'd have to study. I'm not just going to suddenly become one. So there's different levels of this, right? I want to be realistic when I'm talking about this. I want to say to you that, you don't have to do it when you're going to bed and falling asleep, etc. You can do it after you've meditated. You can do it in the full moon, like what I've just talked to about. You can do it in the morning if you're someone who practiced meditation and mindfulness and visualization and affirmation. If that's what you do in the morning, then do it in the morning. You do you, boo. Everyone has their own ways of working on self-development. I would say to you, highly recommend the Breathe app and listen to Glenn Harrold and his content on that particular app. Like I mentioned previously, that, I have done it in the sense of I've listened to certain sounds and meditated and, through thought manifested things that I want and what they look like and the outcome and the whole picture basically. So, you want something or you want to do something, you imagine what that looks like and what that feels like. You imagine yourself already having it. You would incorporate visualization. You would incorporate affirmation of that thing you want to create in your life. You'd also, and I know as well, listening to the content, and I'm sure this is the way for many of these kind of content where it's also important that, and I mean, we could bring God into the conversation as well. Like I think I've talked about spirituality, and this is all about spirituality really. For me, it all intertwines. But when I say to you that, yeah, there has been certain things that I've really wanted in my life to have direction on. It's not like, and look, I'll go back a step. I want a Porsche. Okay. Have I manifested having a Porsche? No. Obviously I think about it quite a bit sometimes, but I am aware that I have to have money to buy a Porsche and I have to work hard to have the money, and that obviously there's multiple steps in that. If I was to say then you want to manifest winning the lottery, then, you could go down that route. For me, when I'm talking about manifestation or manifesting something, it's more around particular things that I want to do or tasks or goals that I want to reach. So I'll give the example that I have numerous times manifested on the idea that I want to go to Japan. Like I said, I'm going to Japan. It's happening. I am making it happen. I would say to you that how I perceive manifestation, me personally, it's something where, say you want to, I don't know, there's a certain thing that you want to do, all right? If I was to say to you that you meditate or you do a ritual or something like that, and you, like it described, you would write down the idea, your want, and you would create, you need to create, like, be mindful that you're really asking the universe to, if you believe in that, you're asking for help to manifest, to create this idea, not just as a thought, but into life. And for me, there's a sense of not only releasing the fact that, yes, you're doing it, but you're asking for the guidance from someone. May that be the universe, may that be angels, may that be, I don't know, family members who's passed away, or may that be God, or whoever you see as God, or your spiritual leader. Then really you're surrendering yourself to this, and you're asking through mindfulness, through affirmation, through visualization, that thing you want. I'd also say to you that there's also, of course, the important element of, I'll give the example of the Porsche. I'm not going to tonight or tomorrow when it's the full moon. I mean, I could if I wanted to. If I wanted to use the sacred full moon manifestation ritual and manifest and think about and visualize me and having a Porsche in my life, then I could do that. For me, because I don't want to say I use, because there's no other word I can think of. Manifestation for me, and doing like a ritual like the one I just talked about. If I was to say to you, and I mean, I could be wrong because now I'm just surmising, but most people would probably use these kind of rituals when they're at a loss, okay? So perhaps, they don't know the way to get A to B or something. Do you know what I mean? They don't know how to get the Porsche. So what they're doing is they're using a ritual like this to try and help them see clearer, or get the assistance they need from whoever that person or people or universe is to you, to help guide you to reach, to get the Porsche. I would probably say to you that there has been times when I haven't used a ritual, but I've certainly listened to the Breathe app and certain, manifestation content on the Breathe app to really hone in on, a particular thing I want. Mainly for me, it has been, around work and around, even relationships. It hasn't been, for me, and Japan's number one. I wouldn't say to you that I use these techniques to manifest a Porsche. For me, it's more about using these techniques to help me guide myself in a certain direction. Perhaps I don't really know the way. I don't know. I kind of know the way, but I'm asking and surrendering myself to get help. I think that's the way I would describe manifestation. I think, if we go back to that article that I read about the law of attraction, that, you're thinking and putting positive thoughts out into the ether, into the world, in the intent to get something positive back. And, the flip side being, if you're going to just go around just sending negative fuck you vibes to everyone, it's very likely you're going to get that back. For me personally, it's very much about calming my mind. It's about me not only visualizing a thought or a want, but really focusing on that more than I would just as I sit here now talking. Probably because there's the element of listening to, which I highly believe in, certain sound, like as in binaural sounds at certain hertz. For focus, for meditation, for visualization, for anything. I truly believe in that in regards to sound and sound waves. you might instantly think of, in yoga and the sound bowl where they hit the bowl and it resonates a particular sound. Believe in that 100%, especially when you're trying to focus on something. Helps me greatly. I would say to you that I know there has been times in my life where I have felt lost and I've just surrendered and gone, I just need help with this. And therefore I'm just trying to manifest the goal or the end goal to what I'm asking. I'm not trying to get it to, what material things, and even though going to Japan would be probably classified as a material thing or a material want. And I suppose you could say some of the things that I've, practiced the art of manifestation would be around material wants, because they have led into something around financial, like about work, which is basically about money and all that, and ties up all together, doesn't it? What I'd say to you though is I know through experience, through that particular app, that I suppose it can lend into when you talk about meditation, which is a subject for another day. But really, you are in a meditative state when you manifest. And, the ideals, that you use through meditation are used in manifesting something, a want or a need or all of the above. For me, I have not only meditated and manifested, but even done work around self-hypnosis and inner child work from that particular app. They all intertwine. I don't know, the other day I was thinking to myself, I've never really thought of myself really as a big spiritual person. I don't walk around going, I believe in spirits. I don't know. Or the universe, or, I believe in prana and I believe in this and that. And, this, if you manifestate this can happen. I don't talk about these things. I mean, they're not normal conversations. I think they're more deep conversations if you're that kind of person. But I was thinking the other day, I'm like, I don't know, if you would ask me what kind of person I was, I just think in the last couple of years I've become more spiritual. And through, meditation, through self-improvement, through manifestation, through visualization, through, listening to certain sounds. And I would say to you, and will say to you, hand on heart, that if you want something bad enough, you can make it happen. I have manifested or used manifestation. I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I know I'm not. I have done or practiced manifestation and it has become reality. Now, there would be where you could quickly say that I made it reality, because I didn't will it to happen. I actually participated, and if through participation it happened. I would say to you, you would be correct. I would also say to you that I wouldn't say manifestation is just about, oh, look, I want a Porsche, and a Porsche suddenly appears in my driveway. I don't think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, that manifestation is to be used as a tool just to get things that you want, like as in like getting a Porsche and it suddenly appears. There is, for me, that element where you got to work for it. You can't just magically make things happen. So I don't want you to think that, I'm sitting around manifesting stuff and it just magically appears. No. For me, I view this as a self-discovery tool in my journey of learning about spirit. Can I say that? I mean, if I was to say to you, like I said, I was thinking the other day, do I see myself as a spiritual person? I actually do. I don't talk about it a lot, but I actually do. If I was to say to you, there has been in times in my life when, I'll give the example of, which now I'm getting a little bit off track and in the weeds, but they all kind of intertwine, Reiki. And I could talk about Reiki another day. I don't practice Reiki. But if I was to say to you that I know throughout my life where, I've received a shit ton of massages in my life and I've also I did for a period of time start doing a course on remedial massage many, many years ago. And maybe I should do it again. Maybe this is why I'm talking about it today, is that I can hand on heart say that as many times where I've, you've massaged a friend's back or whatever, or when I was doing that particular course, I started the course, or I've just held someone's hand and they've commented something to me. And I don't know, if I was to say to you that if I was to choose some sort of spiritual role or job, if we're talking about, now, like I said, I'm getting off track, but if we talk about mediums and psychics and all those kind of things, then I would say to you I would be a Reiki therapist. And, yeah, I actually believe that I am one, which sounds strange while I'm saying it out loud, and I think that as well because I know, and I think people would know this too. If you are someone who has massages all the time, there's some people it's not even just connecting on having the massage, but it's beyond that. And for me, that's a spiritual thing. Massages are actually very spiritual for me in the sense of who does it. So to me, and I know I've had that from me to others. Yeah, and I've just got off track completely about Reiki. But yeah, I suppose I want anyone who's listening to this podcast, think about, if you do think about these things, I don't know, do you think about this? Do you think about manifesting or using manifestation techniques to bring an idea or a want or a need into your life? Do you believe in it? I actually believe in it. I would say to you, though, that when you do it, I know from personal experience they really, I was going to say harp, but that's a strong word. They really, talk about being purposeful, yes, is that the word, in what you want and what that looks like and how that feels and, feeling it and wanting it and visualizing it, all of the above, all at the same time. If I was to say to you I've done that and things have happened but they haven't turned out the way that maybe I visualized, they've kind of happened, and then I would say to you, is it because I wasn't purposeful enough in my visualization and want and desire via my manifestation? Or was it because if I flip that, I'm asking for something that I never was going to ever have anyway? Or do you know what I mean? I'm getting into then fate and I'm getting into, do you believe in that? Like now we're getting in the weeds. Do you believe in any of that? I mean, is it about being grateful enough, or is it about being worthy for that thing you're actually manifesting in the first instance? Is it about timing? Is it about, the universe saying you can ask for the Porsche, but it's actually not what you should be having? Do you believe in that? Yeah, it's very fascinating for me. I am very aware in reference to the power of the mind. We could go into that. For me, when I meditate, and, we can talk about, your chakras and all that. We can go into that, but we're not going to go deep into that today. But if I was to say to you, your third eye, when I manifest or when I visualize, and I can, like, again, hand on heart, tell you that I know where that is in my forehead, clear as day. And even now I feel like I feel it. Strange when I talk about it. Now I'm getting really airy and you're like, Amanda's a nutter. You're a nutter. You're a complete nutter. A part of visualization, you use these techniques. You're not just, thinking things. You're using your chakras, if you believe in that. You're using your third eye. I mean, we could talk about other religions that do this as well. But what I'm saying to you is when I use the Breathe app and I visualize and use affirmations, I'm focusing on that chakra. And I would say to you, it's hot. And it feels like it's not burning, but it feels like it's ignited or activated. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not like a headache. It's like, and sometimes I think I see things, but I don't know because I don't know. But again, like if I say to you, it's not only just a feeling, it's not only a thought, but it's a strong feeling. And even to like a sense where I feel like I'm not going down a long hallway. It's hard to describe, but it's like I not see a door, but it's like everything is focused in that area. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I have to ponder on that and describe it better for you one day. But I would say to you that I do believe that you can practice manifestation. I would say to you, I'm still practicing. I would say to you that I don't use, the practice of manifestation or meditation or visualization and affirmations lightly. I actually take them quite seriously because I think if you're asking or surrendering to, that higher purpose or, what that is for you, then you do it with grace and humility. And I don't know, I think if you do that, somehow you can work together. Like it's not like you can just go, I fucking want this. Like give it to me. No, I think you have to be, and I know they talk about that. They talk about gratefulness. I'll spit it out, gratefulness. And, mindfulness. But if I was to say to you that you have to be in a sense of, being humble and being open and being positive and projecting love, because that's the other thing too, and we touched on that in that article where they say that it's really about love and projecting love and energy and beautifulness into the world when you do these things. And then that will help you bring these things into your life. I believe in it. And I'm not going to say to you, like I'm every night manifesting, shit ton of shit. I'm not. For me, it is something that I practice when I just need help. I feel like I need help. And I know when that is. It's not even just, me having high anxiety and struggling and, I'm not coping. It's even beyond that. It's just there's certain times when and again, some people might say that this is my intuition or the spirit trying to talk to me, but yeah, I just know when I need to do it, which is weird. And so tomorrow is the full moon, which is the 10th, depending on where you are in the world. Perhaps you could, if you believe in all of this, because there's a lot, if you believe in manifestation at all, why don't you give it a try? Because really, apparently, allegedly, doing it during the full moon tomorrow would be very advantageous to you to do it then, obviously with an open heart, but to do it then. So what does that mean for me, Amanda? Tomorrow is Sunday here in Australia. I will be doing my usual thing on a Sunday, whatever that looks like. And then I will go and buy a crystal, and I don't know. I've got crystals here, but there's a particular shop that sells, I think I mentioned it before, it's called the Elephant Shop, which might now give my location away slightly. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I will go to this particular shop, and I know I've been there before. I know they have sage, and I also know they have candles there that you can burn. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to buy that tomorrow. And then I'm actually going to manifest. I'm going to think about it tomorrow, what I want to manifest, because I do have things that I think I want to manifest on, but I need to write them down so I'm clear. And then I'm going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is next Tuesday, I'm going to tell you what happened. Not in like it suddenly appeared and I got what I wanted, because these things don't work that quickly, I'm sure. But what I will say to you is I will share my experience of what that looks like, my full moon ritual, which I will do tomorrow, and what I did. And then we can check in and go from there. Anyway, I might leave it there today because I've kind of gone off track, come back, probably confused you all. You're all probably like gone to sleep because we're now over an hour and you're like, please, I'm manifesting that you shut the fuck up. And I will. Anyway, I just want to, as always, thank the people who do take the time to listen to my podcast. I feel like it's slowly but surely growing, as in the sense of how many podcasts are downloaded every week. So the people in America in particular who are downloading my podcast, I'm just going to close my eyes now and visualize you. No, I know, actually closing my eyes and putting my hands together and thinking, I want to thank you for doing that, because it actually does mean a great deal to me. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there today. My phone is ringing in the background, and I will therefore catch you on the next one. I will just say that if you want to contact me anytime, you can via email. My email address is info@thetequilahour.com.au. Most of my social media presence is on Instagram, which is the Tequila Hour, and I also have the Tequila Hour YouTube channel. So, yeah, reach out to me anytime. I would truly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about this subject today. And if there's any other subjects you'd like to hear from me, for those who listen to this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, love you to give it a 5-star review, because apparently that's what they believe in or manifest in. And I will catch you on the next one. See ya. Bye.
Like you don't even try. I used to wonder why, but now I'm